Question everything in pursuit of your purpose. Ask yourself, what if?
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome again to another live show at Pursuit of Purpose. We're a little off schedule. I know that. We normally shoot our live show, the What Are We Doing series. We normally do that on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. But with this election season going on like it is, we're a little off schedule. So I hope you guys find us. I hope you join us. I hope you chime in. Let us know what you're thinking. But today we had a special thing happen to us. And by the way, I'm Rob.
I'm Chuck.
And we have with us a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yeah, my name is Clint Robinson. I own Corbin Clay Investigations.
And what happened is Clint called earlier and he asked what we were doing. And I told him just come on by if he wanted to see it. And so he did. He came by and we wound up forcing him on the air with us.
That's it.
So we victimize people. If you show up here and we're doing a live show, the chances are we're going to put you on the air and get you involved with our audience.
That's
No
right.
problem.
That's
So
right.
we welcome Clint with us this morning.
Thank you.
The first topic we're going to discuss today, since it is the day after the primary elections, we're going to talk a little bit of politics. It looks like on the Democrat side, which, as most of you know, that's not the way we lean, but we'll talk about that. Here in Texas, it looks like James Tallarico took the nomination for the Democrat Party for Senate, for U.S. Senate, to represent Texas. So I hope you guys are, you leftist out there, I hope you guys are satisfied with that. Because if you're not, well, y'all elected him. So you got him. He's going to be your candidate.
Yes.
So and on our side, on the conservative side, it appears as though we got John Cornyn. And I don't know how many of you know about that, but personally, that's not my pick. I would not have chosen John Cornyn. I am disappointed with that result, but there's a result that I'm happy about. And that is in the 37th Congressional District in Austin.
Yes.
A friend of our show, Lauren B. Pena,
Mhm.
she made a fabulous showing. She received 45% of the votes, and I'm sorry, my cameraman is acting up. If you're with us on TikTok, thanks for joining us. But my cameraman's acting crazy. But Lauren, in a highly liberal area, a very Democrat-leaning congressional district, Lauren was able to garner 45% of the available votes against two other candidates. So that placed her squarely in the runoff for District 37 in Texas. That is a very important race to follow, even though, there are many of us on the show that are not in that district. It's important because those Congress people have an impact on the entire state and the nation.
Yes.
So pay attention, folks. Pay close attention. So, guys, I don't want to do all the talking. Chuck, you voted.
Yes.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah, you put me on the spot.
So we had a big election.
Mhm.
Are you willing to disclose who you voted for?
Oh, I mean,
I asked if I could put you on the spot.
you did
and
put
you
me on the
said
spot.
yes.
Yeah, you said yes. I can tell you who I did not vote for, but he won his primary anyway, and that is John Cornyn. I actually voted for candidate Hunt. That's who I wanted, and I did vote for Mr. Ashby, who has been on our show, and you can go back and check out some of those recordings. I enjoyed meeting Ms. Ward, but I just felt like Mr. Ashby was going to be the better candidate. You start going down ballot. I can't remember all the names. Some of whom I knew, did a little bit of research. And I think that's important if you're going to vote. When you're voting in a primary, you can't just vote straight ticket. You got to get these candidates up and running, and because there's going to be a runoff likely with somebody else.
Well, there's going to be a runoff with Cornyn, and just to be
Yes.
real clear, it's Paxton and Cornyn in a runoff now. But
Okay.
we're upset because our candidate, the one that we preferred,
Yes.
didn't make
That's
it even to the runoff.
Trying to get who are you preferring, Robin?
Wesley Hunt.
Hunt, yeah.
Wesley Hunt. I mean, I got to meet him. I got to talk to him. I actually got to ask him several really good questions. I thought they were good. And I really appreciated his response. I appreciated his history, his stance. He served in our military as an Apache pilot.
Right on.
He graduated from West Point.
Okay, yeah.
Great guy, great family
Wow.
man. He is currently serving as a congressman. So
Mhm.
he's doing a good job there.
Yeah.
And, but he's the outsider.
Yeah.
He was the outsider candidate
Yeah.
of the three, and unfortunately, the people of Texas chose to push the two
Right.
insiders
Paxton.
Yeah.
further.
And my hope is, after, Rob got to meet him, so I started looking into him. And my hope is that he will continue to stay involved in the game. He won't go away, and he will find other ways to eventually reach those goals.
Mhm.
And it's never a shoe-in. I mean, and in a U.S. Senate race, I mean, that's a big mountain to climb because
Yes, it is.
there's only, a handful of them. There's only, and so there's a smaller opportunities.
Yep.
However, he seemed to have the character for it, so I don't think he's going away anytime soon. And another thing too, down ballot, I did vote for a lot of pro. These are Texas decisions, but pro.
Propositions.
Yeah,
No,
pro
yeah.
security, pro more the libertarian vote, I believe, and more sound financial management and those things. So I did vote for yay on a lot of those. And there were some things to ban, and I thought, yeah, that's worth banning.
Right.
And it's a shame that we have to actually say it. It seems like that will be common sense.
I was about to tell you that. Why in the world would we have to vote on something that
That's
doesn't
right.
make much sense?
Like
But
Sharia law or
There
something.
you go.
But
there you go.
apparently we have to. And we
Well,
get-
what's fascinating is, and Clint, you don't know this yet about us, but we've actually had some Muslims on the show,
Okay.
and we had the imam, one of the imams from the local mosque,
Mhm.
come on the show.
Okay.
So we've asked the question directly to them.
Mhm.
Tell us about Sharia law. Tell us about what is it, what is the big deal with that, and why does this keep coming up? And do you guys want Sharia law here in America and in Texas? You know what their answer was? It was
I
fascinating.
hope they would say no.
They said no. They said it
Yeah.
actually has no place. It's not even.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
No.
belong.
No.
They actually said it doesn't belong outside of them. It's an internal practice.
That's right.
This is the way they described it to us. So what I'm fascinated with is, how does this become such a big political point?
Yes.
If the Muslims that we talk to, if they're telling the truth, and I mean they seem to be,
Yeah.
they didn't seem to be dishonest in any way.
Right.
But if they were telling the truth, why is it such a political charged topic that we are fighting against Sharia law being a thing in Texas and in America?
Right.
Can I say this?
Yeah, you can say
I think
whatever you
this
want.
may be coming from the top down to the bottom. You got the Elon Omars, you got the Talibs, and they're seeing all this, and they're kind of pushing that, and there's a select few others, but you're seeing that, and it's coming from the top down. So I think it's filtering down into, at our level, and that's kind of why we're having a vote on it in Texas, which it blew me away on those propositions. I think there was 10 of them, and that was one of them. Like, I can't even believe I'm voting.
Like, why is that
Yes.
even on our ballot?
Exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that has to be an issue somewhere in Texas, you would think, right? For it to be on the ballot.
Yes.
And
yes.
there's a lot of talk
Good point.
out there in the
Yeah.
public about fear, like because they're building mosques and this, that, and the
Right.
other. I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'm gonna say this like with no shame, with no hesitation. I'm a Christian. Okay,
Same.
no matter what,
Same.
I don't compromise.
Same.
At the same time, these people have actually they're in Ramadan right now.
Mhm.
They have invited me as a Christian, as
Mm-hmm.
a speaker. The local Muslim community has invited me to come speak at the mosque for Ramadan.
I'd say that's a friendly gesture.
I would too. I would
So
too.
that's something we need more of. A little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Is working together.
Interfaith work.
Yes,
And that's-
working
yeah.
together and trying to find some common ground between the way two different extreme differences in our religion and our
Right.
ways of life. I have several friends that are Muslim. I was in Iraq for almost a year, man, and I experienced, the Sharia law and what they do over there with the kids and the women, and it's And like you were saying, Rob, there's no place for that. Like they were saying to you on this podcast, there's no place for that here in the United States.
That's right.
There's just no, and why we're voting on it. I'm just blown
Right.
away by the whole thing. But
Well, in
like
our
I said,
country, obviously is founded on these libertarian ideas that everybody has value.
Yeah.
Our and as you mentioned, our females have value, our
Right.
children have value,
right.
and we invest in them. That's why we have public schools and all these other things going on. And that's why our universities are open to to either gender. They're not closed off and what have you. So you go to a country like where you were, and you
Mhm.
start seeing these pockets of discrimination. And you're like,
Yep.
what is that?
Right.
And that's why every time it tries to implant itself here in our country, it gets met with a lot of conflict because it is too contradictory
That's
to,
right.
to what has made us great, and we kind of know it. It's like it's in our American DNA, I guess. And,
No. Yeah,
and
you're
so, and I really, and when I read it, it was a little disturbing at first, but I thought, you know what? I'm glad that I get a chance to say something more permanent, like a vote
Mhm.
against it. Now, it's more than just having conversations with friends.
Mhm.
Now I can actually put it down as a demarcation, say, no, I'm against that.
Right.
And but I'm glad that you got to go over and experience that firsthand, because that gives a lot of credibility when people ask, like,
Yeah.
what is it? Well, I lived it.
I lived it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And can I share a quick story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it was 2008, and we had a bunch of Iraqi schoolgirls come out of an Iraqi school. We were out on patrol, and we were helping a Iraqi police chief rebuild his station that got struck by a VBID or something, explosive device, and blown it. Anyway, so these schoolgirls are walking up and walking by, and they're saying chocolate, which means they want candy or whatever. So I was eating them. All my troops were eating them. Already, we were pulling 360 security because my commander was inside the facility. So I give this little girl some M&Ms or Skittles. I can't remember what it was. Well, there was an Iraqi army troop about 15, 20 foot away, maybe a little bit further. And he saw that. He waited until she got away from me. He went over and slapped the snot. I mean, he just backhanded this poor little girl.
How old do you think the little girl
M&Ms.
was?
She's probably 8 or 9.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
this was a grown man
grown man.
backhanding her for accepting
I
candy
was
from
reaching
you.
for what, and I was about to do what. My troops were like, Sarge, it's not worth it. Just let them do their
Wow.
thing,
Wow.
which is what we're talking about right now. And this is how they do. This is their life.
Good night.
That's
So-
insane. Thank you for sharing
That-
that.
yeah, thank
That's
you.
different perspective.
That is
Caveman.
that is a firsthand eyewitness in the moment.
I hadn't been in country, maybe 2 or 3 months. So I was just getting to know,
Yes.
see their way of life, and that
Yes.
blew me away.
Yes.
Until I had to come to the realization this is the way they live.
This is how they live.
We can't change that.
Isn't that shocking?
Right.
It's crazy.
To see
Yeah.
that that's the reality.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for telling us
And
that.
thank you for your service, by the way.
no problem.
Thank you
No
for your
problem.
service. Yeah.
So we have a question here from one of our audience, Caveman 1937, says it's contradictory to force your religion through government and criticize others for the same. Well, I don't know that the United States federal government is forcing religion. Do you? Now, I will say this. I saw another comment earlier that said something about the separation of church and state and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine, whatever. But there's a funny little fact that so many of you seem to skip. And that is that were it not for churches, there would be no education.
True.
That's
Yes.
where it all,
True.
that's how it was formed. That's how it was organized. That's how it began. That's where schools was in
Yeah.
church.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the clergy and nuns and other,
Mm-hmm.
ministerial people
Mhm.
actually taught school.
Right.
So
Right.
it's bizarre to think that you can effectively, completely disconnect the faith process
Mhm.
Right.
from the education process.
That's right.
Right.
It doesn't, that's not even mechanically possible.
Well, in the process of developing in either of those, whether it is in your faith or developing in your career, the process is still the same.
Yep.
You've got there's a an academic way, and I could just think of 2 universities, and there's hundreds across the country. Temple, Duke. Some of these they don't have church names on them, but they were founded
Yep.
by a faith, an original proponent of faith. And and I do not think, and I do not even agree that our government, as is, should be imposing, religion.
Right.
But
No, I don't either.
But I think they should be allowing. The only parameter is, though, as long as the practice of that religion doesn't affect what we would think would be our acceptable rights. Now people won't be abused like that girl.
Right.
Things like that. As long as that's not happening, if you want to, dance on the pews, dance on the pews. You
Yeah.
want to
Or
kneel,
if you want to pray over your lunch, or
Yeah.
absolutely.
and one of the comments on here, and I agree with this, the sentiment is there should be no indoctrination. And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I totally agree with that.
Like there should be, like, that's why it is 100% unacceptable and it should be completely illegal
Mhm.
to teach political slant in the classroom,
Yes.
or other like, I don't know how else to put this, but mental deviations, deciding that you are a different gender than
Yes.
what you are
Yes.
Yeah.
endowed
that's a
with
hot
by your creator. And I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
There are two sexes, there are two genders, and if you don't
Yes.
like
That's
that, go
the
ahead and
black
scroll.
chromosome. Yeah.
I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to put Rob back on the spot.
Uh-oh.
So Rob very courageously ran for one of our school board seats.
He
in
knows.
our
Oh, I know.
local
Yeah.
districts. And at one of those public forums, that topic came up. And, there was probably some.
In our little town, in small town
That's
USA,
right. And
imagine that.
That's right. And Rob showed me the video of his response, which I thought was brilliant, because it definitely reiterated, it probably is reiterating today, that position that is, school has nothing to do with that. That should not even be there. That's for some other community, not the school community. You might want to tell our audience more.
Well, the
about
question came up during that race was if a teacher teaches religious or political stuff in the classroom,
Yeah.
puts their beliefs into the minds of the kids, should they be fired? And my answer was simple: yes.
Yes.
There is no place in the classroom for a teacher to impart her belief system or her political beliefs,
Mhm.
or his, male or female teacher, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
There is no place in the classroom for any teacher to do a parent's job of helping that child, guiding that
That's a
child
good point.
into and through their development of faith and political stuff.
Right.
That's not the school's place. And as a parent, as a teacher, as
Yeah.
the husband of a teacher,
Mhm.
it's unconscionable if you're a teacher and your students know what your political beliefs are, you failed.
That's right. That's right.
That's just the fact.
That's a
And-
good
right.
point. Can I circle back around to the question from that gentleman?
yeah.
We can't forget where and how our country was founded. It was founded on Christianity and God.
Mhm.
So now, does that mean that we need to indoctrinate everybody into that? No, that's not what I'm saying. However, if we forget where we came from, we're definitely not going to know where we're going. We're going to we're going to have a hard time figuring out where we're going in the future.
Hmm.
So let's not forget where we came from and how we were formed. We're a young country, but Constitution and the Constitution, God is mentioned, I don't know how many times. They prayed before they did things. They prayed after they did these, the Constitution and other important matters that formed our republic. So
Endowed by our Creator.
there
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So we can't forget where we came from. I guess that's what I'm trying to knock home here, push home.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's those in the audience that are arguing that it was not founded on that. So
Well,
then I would ask you, in the
yeah.
preamble, what does it mean when it says that we are endowed by our Creator to certain inalienable rights? Like,
Yeah.
what does that mean then? If it's
Yeah.
not based on a faith, then what does it mean?
right.
Life,
the-
liberty, and person. We
I
wrote
mean-
it on our wall.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you have the right answer to that, to the person commenting, please let us know.
So yeah, this is Alex Joyner. The founders were mostly deists. Well, let me tell you something, Alex. You may not like this, and you may think yourself to not be, but it's hard to be a human being and not be a deist.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if you don't believe that, put yourself in a truly life or death situation and see where your mind goes.
Right.
It's in you instinctively to believe in a creator.
Yep.
Yes.
Been there.
And
Yep.
yes, I mean, I've been there.
Mhm.
So I don't think you are truly experienced or educated in the matter if you
Right.
really believe that
Right.
the human race
Right.
is not built to be
Well,
that
we have
way.
a combat veteran sitting right here, and I guarantee you, he may have served with men and women who
Yeah.
probably didn't, do a lot of participation
Yeah.
in faith until I bet you the bullets started flying.
Yeah, and the mortars came in.
And the mortars came in,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you have a brand new orientation
Yes, you do.
as to who you are, where you are,
Yeah.
and where you're going.
That's
If,
right.
if this doesn't go well,
That's right.
one of my favorite examples is what happened on September 16th, 2001. I don't know if you guys remember. I know you remember September 11th,
Mhm.
but on September 16th, 2001, do y'all know what happened that day?
Is it Day of Prayer, National Day of Prayer?
Well,
or what was it?
Well, in sorts, for sure. So I went to church that morning.
Okay.
It was a Sunday, and our church was about 4 times its size. And I'm pressed to the back of the wall with some
Wow.
teenage boys in this little vestibule. And I mean, we were giving up our chairs for the ladies and the kids. So the men were in the back, and there were just people everywhere. And I'll turn to one of the teenage and I go, "Dude, do you know these people?" He goes, "Mr. Chuck, I never seen these people before in my life." We were
Yeah.
packed. Why were we packed? Because of what Rob just said. Our viewer there is, you may not think you're a deist until you are afraid
That's
beyond
right.
your abilities,
That's right.
and you will seek something. And those people were seeking their Creator God to save them, to protect them, to
Or at
do all
least
this.
guide them.
Guide them. And so it was like that for a few weeks, and then it
Yeah.
kind of faded back to normal.
Right.
But it impressed me,
Yeah.
what was going on in their minds. And they, I don't know if we're right off the highway, so they're in our city. And so maybe they just found a building that looked,
Correct.
accepting.
So Deputy Dreamer's in the audience today. It's
Yay,
good to see
Dreamer.
you on there, Deputy Dreamer. He said that he announced something that we were discussing earlier, and we're very happy about that Lauren Pena made it into the runoff. That's right. She actually, I guess you missed that part of the show, Edgar, but she got 45% of the vote in her district. So we're real proud of her. Let's see. Alex Joyner, do you think everyone who is religious, not Christian, prays to God if they are under threat of life? Well, let me say this, okay? I'm gonna go over something with you here, Alex, and our panel here. This is important.
The cameraman said too much.
Yeah, I think our cameraman's drunk. But
Check that coffee pot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, I don't believe in religion. Now, how does that sit with you?
Mm.
I don't believe in religion at
I
all.
don't either.
Mm.
But I have a system of faith and a system of beliefs that is Christian. It's not religious.
Right.
Religious is a system of traditions that are man-made,
That's right.
that are man-ruled, that are political in nature,
Mhm.
that are controversial oftentimes, and they change with the times.
That's right.
But my faith has zero to do with any religion.
Right.
I'm not a Baptist. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a
Yeah.
Presbyterian, a Methodist.
Right.
I'm not any of those things. And I don't care. I don't hold anything against people who practice those
Right.
things. But those are all systems of religion that man created. They have zero to do with what God created.
Yeah.
What God created is
points.
immutable. What God created is universal. What God created is
Yeah.
unbreakable and unchanging. It doesn't change with the times.
Right.
It is the times.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That's a great point, man.
Mhm.
And
Great point.
so I'm always fascinated when people try to debate religion, and I don't care. You can debate
Yeah.
religion all you
Yeah.
want because it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me.
That's
I'm
right.
not religious.
That's right.
Even Jesus himself was against religion.
Yeah,
He-
they're the ones that killed him.
Yeah, the Pharisees and
Yeah.
the Sadducees and all that.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
They killed him. So
That's
yeah.
right.
And the other thing I'm going to address here,
Sure
because
did.
Mossy Oak, one of our audience here, he's having some fun. He's saying he believes in Bigfoot and talking trees. He's trying to be silly,
Okay.
and I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Hey, class,
Each
it's good to
his
see
own.
you, Gina.
Yeah.
Glad to see you today. But anyway, so the other thing is that faith and the Christian belief system is not mystical. It's not scary. It's not voodoo. It's not about, like all this weird stuff. It's not. It's actually it's a scientific practice of faith and belief.
Yes.
And it's proven. It's not something that's far-flung, far-fetched, or left open to complete imaginations.
Right.
It's so much simpler than that. The things that are spooky and mysterious are all man-made.
That's right.
That's right.
They really are, and it's ridiculous how much we put into that.
Right.
Uh,
By far, man has complicated what should be a very pure and simple relationship.
Well said.
And that's where we get religion, basically. Do I congregate with people? Yeah. Are they more my friends than they are some institution that I don't want to fail because I'm afraid I may not have the grand reward? Not really. It's because I love these people and I love sharing our faith, and we happen to do it collectively. Okay. You don't have to do that, but I think you do collect with people who are like-minded, though. Don't y'all have friends? Don't y'all have people that you go hang out with and in certain areas? I hope so. And I guarantee you, if you're true friendship, if you're sharing affection and affirmation and aspiration with these people that you would call your community, you're actually kind of sharing your faith.
So Gina, Classy 476, she's one of our faithful viewers, and we appreciate her. She asked if we voted. Yes, actually, Gina, that's how we started the show. We were talking about the votes. Thank you for voting.
Yeah,
Thank you for all of you who voted. We appreciate you. And then we had somebody out there who asked about the money tree. So for those of you who don't know, somebody out there made a comment that the money tree is fake money. It's not fake.
No.
It's real money.
Mhm.
And the money tree. Now, we are shooting from inside of an old bank vault.
Yes.
So I thought it'd be appropriate to have a money tree. And then when we have guests on the show, one of the things, and Clint doesn't know this, by the way, this is Clint Robinson for all of you who joined the show later. This is Clint Robinson. He's a friend of ours. He's somebody who lives in the community that I live in. And he offices right down the road from where we're sitting. And he called this morning and said, what are we doing? And I told him we were going to go live, and he came over to watch. He didn't know we were going to put him on
The hot
air.
seat.
Yeah, put him on the spot. And our cameraman is drunk. I didn't know that an AI program could get drunk, but obviously it is.
Hey.
So yeah, and somebody on there commented, I want to address that. That's a really good thing to talk about. Row Call Outdoors, ROWCAL Outdoors says church sure likes money. Now that's a fascinating thing to bring up, because that is one of the things that turns a lot of people off to Christianity, is that churches focus so highly on money. Well, there's a double-sided thing to that, okay? There's an argument to be made. It takes money to run a church. That's just the facts, okay? However, too oftentimes we see people in religious circles become hyper-focused on money and try to use religious politics to get rich. And then they, usually when you see that happen, there's a fall shortly thereafter.
Yes.
They get puffed up with pride. They get on TV. They get a big church. And then you see there will be an event that happens usually.
Yes.
And it brings them down.
Right.
And then that leaves a stain on Christianity.
Yeah.
And it's unreasonable to blame Christianity, because that's not a representation of Christianity. That's a representation of man's pride and man's sinful nature and man's failure.
Right.
But yeah, it does seem like that. A lot of times churches do seem to become hyper focused on money.
That's true. And it's unfortunate because we definitely can pervert what should be a more pure exchange. If you're truly into your Christian faith, as we three are Christians, we're really about the generosity. We're about the offering. We're about the giving. We're about the self-sacrificing. Sometimes we do it collectively through an institution, but I also, like I'm sure these men do too, we also give to other things that are near and dear to our heart, and that are actually helping promote a better way for people, whether it's physical health or other types of education systems. So collections, if you will, like a community, a congregation, whatever you want to call it. If they're in the business of collecting and sharing, well, good for them. If they're not, then they probably should think long and hard about what is their intent. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a physical plant, if you're going to have a building, then yeah, it costs, But I do find it interesting, though. We have all these church buildings, which I don't have a problem with church buildings. They're beautiful structures many times. But do you know that nowhere in Scripture, especially Christian Scripture, it mentions that they built a building?
No.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point they did have buildings.
That's not
Yeah.
true. King Solomon built a huge
No.
temple.
I'm talking about Christian.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's back in he did.
You
build
mean
the
in the
temple.
New Testament?
In the New
Yeah,
Testament. So
yeah.
that's why they met in homes and various other things like this.
They did set up churches, but the church was the body of the believers. It wasn't
Exactly.
the building. The church at Ephesus,
that's right.
the,
Yes.
the, you
The
know,
church
the
gathered-
church in Philippi and all that.
They gathered in living rooms or little gardens outside the house, or whatever. Maybe put up some type of tarp or tent, and
Which was
whatever.
the congregation.
which it was the
Yeah.
people. That's right. And so now, again, I'm not against it. It just became the next incarnation, but it's not mentioned. So if you're going to have a physical plant, yeah, it's going to cost some dollars.
That's right.
There's something that one of our viewers, Westside, thank you for being a part of the show, Westside. Regardless of your background or your beliefs or what have you, I appreciate your contribution. Westside said, God wants me to be rich. And you want to hear something interesting? That's true.
Yes.
He wants you to have wealth of all kinds, wealth of wisdom, wealth of money, wealth of ability. In fact, your creator endowed you with the ability to become rich and
That's
wealthy.
right. And good point. He thinks you're worthy. If
Mhm.
you are a student of the parables, you can go back and study the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
So he left a denomination, if you will, of value of money with these folks, divided among their abilities. But the reason he did, because he left it as their worth. This is your worth.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, everybody created has a level of worth.
Yes.
And they come with a precious promise. And our job is to participate. And if that makes you a lot of extra money, good. But please do good things with it. Try to help somebody.
Yeah.
Try to make sure that you have a generous flow. The money comes in, but a good portion of it goes to make it better for others.
Yeah. It's better, the old saying, it's better to give than receive. I feel better. I don't know about you all in the audience or whatever. I just feel better giving than receiving. I'm the same way on Christmas. I just want people to be happy.
There you go.
Well, when we're giving, we're in a place of abundance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We are in a position, regardless of where you are financially, if you find something in you or of you that you can give,
Mhm.
it changes your paradigm. It changes where you are in life,
Mhm.
and it puts you in a place of wealth
Yes.
because you have enough to give.
Mhm.
And that's something that if we can all do, we will become more wealthy
Mhm.
in every aspect.
So if the Creator God gave you the opportunity to build your wealth,
Mhm.
and you give it away in portion to certain things that are valuable to you, you're actually creating a void that only that Creator can refill. And so create a
That's
void.
an awesome point.
Yeah. That's in a sense, that's fasting, that's offering. So
That's right.
hope you make a lot of money. I
Yeah.
hope you help a lot of people.
Get rich, Westside.
Get rich.
Get rich. But the one thing about it is, and I'll tell you what I've learned through my experiences, is that people will not become wealthy without trials usually.
Yes.
So if you really desire to be rich, be ready to pay the price, because it's going to cost you.
Yes.
It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you commitment. It's going to cost you your labor, your talent.
Mhm.
It's going to cost you all the resources that you have to build that wealth. And you're going to have to show that you can be a responsible handler
Mhm.
with the accountability that goes with that wealth. If wealth comes without responsibility, it will fall.
Yes.
That brings me to a good point that's stirring in my head. Just don't forget, we're talking about money, money, money. Remember, for the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's not the love of money,
Mhm.
for the love of money.
Mhm.
So remember that when you're getting rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean you're not with it this week? Classy, you're here, so you're with us.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
says, I'm not really with it this week.
Oh,
Well, we're glad to have you.
We'll get you there. Just
We'll be
hang in
with
there.
it. We'll
Yeah.
be with it for you.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Yeah, but thank you so much
Yeah.
for tuning into the show.
Yeah.
You are a valued, reoccurring friend that keeps coming in. We appreciate that.
She says she wrote why, so I missed it in the comments.
Mm. I don't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Classy. I actually had a death in the family as well this past week, and we will have the celebration of his life. Actually, the inspiration for this show. How this show started, for those of you in the audience that don't know, I'll give you a little recap. I wanted to document my grandfather's life. He was a World War II veteran. He lived right at a century of life on this earth. He was one of the people who helped us develop Doppler radar in World War II so they could drop bombs through cloud cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
He ended up stationed in Puerto Rico, working on radios, working on, that technology kind of stuff.
Mm.
But anyway, he died. He died last Thursday at 1:40 in the afternoon, and we will do a celebration of his life this coming Saturday. So, Classy, I'm sorry for your loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the Spirit of God comforts you and you are at peace with it.
Mhm.
But that happens. Unfortunately, that transition is a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had some interesting talks about that. And I think I want to work up a topic of discussion related to that for a later show. But as far as today goes,
I'd like to have a way real quick though
Yeah,
that
go
I
ahead.
could offer for Classy to come to my class.
oh yeah, Chuck's a grief counselor.
Yes.
For those of you in the audience that don't know this, Chuck is a licensed professional counselor, and he does a free grief therapy class.
Yes.
It's free online. Where do they find it, Chuck?
They can go to chuckolliff.com. That's ChuckOlliff as in football. And when you get there, look up free grief class. There's a way to register. It sends you the link. It sends me your email, and I will keep you in the loop. We'll start again on April the 7th. So if you're listening to this live, definitely register, and I will make sure that you have everything you need to participate in our class. It's kind of like this format. I do a lot of talking, so I try to keep it within an hour, but hopefully it'll be some good, helpful information, and there is no cost.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. And not only is it free, but there's no advertising. There's nobody asking you to join this or join that. It's
right.
completely free.
That's right. That's one of those.
Good stuff. Right
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of those give backs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I know these men have things that
Yeah.
they do to give back. I hope you have something you can
Yeah.
give back. So it's a pleasure. So please, Classy, please look into that. And if you have any question, there's contact me there, and I can get you as much information as we can to get you started.
So yeah, and to give you guys a little more background, that's how Chuck and I met. I was actually a grief therapy client. My wife and I were. We went to Chuck for years, years and years after the death of a child, and so that's how our friendship started, and that's how this practice was born.
Mhm.
So through loss and through pain, there can be opportunity.
Yes,
Everything happens for a reason.
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, and that's something you will learn if you tune into the class. Is that this is really kind of a rebirth of what's next, of what's new,
Yeah.
and I stretch it out. It's a 7-week class, so you don't get it all at once. You just eat that elephant one bite at a time. But hopefully, it will incarnate into new and better things
Yeah.
for you. Like we're enjoying right here.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Classy, I'm going to give you some encouragement. Do not lose your faith.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
not compromise that,
Right.
and don't give up hope.
Right.
Uh,
Right. And one of the things you will learn about yourself, Classy, and others who may have similar experiences, this is not your first loss. That losses started when we were little.
That's right.
When the first time a toddler's walking across the floor and the room and he falls and, he kind of busts his little knees, that's a loss. First time I have to take his toy away, because it's time to eat, he cries and cries. That's all those count. So this is not your first. This is just your worst. And my hope is to draw out the talent that's in there to deal with probably the worst thing ever. And so Rob is right. You don't lose your faith. And matter of fact, we'll be exercising that faith.
Yeah. Amen.
Well, Classy says that her worst loss was her son has
Oh,
not
wow.
has not talked to her in 12 years
Yeah, that's a loss too.
or
That's a
seen
big
her, and
one.
that hurts.
Yeah,
Right.
That
does
hurts.
hurt.
That's right. It comes in many forms.
Yes,
Probably the most obvious would be a death,
right.
but the less obvious would
Yeah.
be something of value
Yeah.
that like leaves without your consent, without your power.
Yeah.
It leaves and there's how do we get that back? Or how do we learn to live without it? And so hopefully we'll learn more about those things. So
Well,
look forward-
Classy says that he says it's because of PTSD. It's funny how, and I don't mean funny like haha, but ironically funny that people get into patterns of behavior,
Mhm.
and then once that happens, we as a species we look for excuses to
Mhm.
maintain those patterns. And I'm not saying that's what he did or what
Yeah.
he's doing necessarily, but we do that.
Mhm.
For instance, like an alcoholic will look for ways to excuse themselves
Yeah.
for their behavior.
Mhm.
That way they don't have to feel the guilt and the shame constantly for, they know they're doing wrong,
Yeah.
but they know they're destroying themselves,
Right.
but they make those excuses.
Yes, they do.
And I'm sorry that that's happening to you,
Yeah.
Classy.
I'm sorry he went through a
Yeah.
trauma,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for the effect that it's having. But my hope, as well as I'm sure your hope is that he will find a better way. Because how he's likely coping with it, I don't know personally, but it's likely not healthy.
Well,
Yeah.
our cameraman, I think he's making excuses.
He's not
here.
healthy either.
He's not
think he's
healthy
an
either.
alcoholic.
That's a loss in itself, right over there.
That's right.
But can we transition and we're sorry again for your loss.
Yes.
But speaking of loss, I've got a young man that's been missing for.
Yes,
Can I
please.
talk about that?
So just to let you guys know that,
Yeah.
Clint does investigative work. That's what his business is. And he's been hired by,
A client, anonymous client
Okay.
in Pennsylvania. It's the uncle, basically, of this young man right here.
let me see. I'll put it
There
up
you go. If anybody's seen, he's been missing for over a year. Last seen in Houston, Texas. Texas EquiSearch has been involved. Missing and exploited children's involved. Houston Police Department is involved. Their detectives, their missing persons and kids division is involved. The family is offering a $10,000 total $10,000 total reward. We're going to work with 5,000 now and see if I get any leads, and then I'll bump it up. But allegedly, he was last seen at some of the homeless encampments in Houston, and there are a lot of them. I don't know if y'all been there lately.
No,
My
they're
goodness.
huge. They're like
Oh, my
little
goodness.
cities.
Yes,
It's
they are.
crazy.
Mm.
So there you go, West Side. If you want to get rich, $10,000 or $5,000
Yes.
richer,
There you go.
go find this young man. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
bump right there.
So that's a loss, and the family's grieving right now. They're hoping that he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we hope that he's okay and he's still with
Yes.
us. So I'm putting almost every available hour I have into finding this young man.
Yeah.
And we will. I'll get Clint to send me that picture, and I'll post it everywhere I can. But we would love you guys' help. We didn't plan this part of the show today, but we are very grateful to have had the platform to offer this, and hope that it helps. We would love you guys to help find this young man.
Yeah, Rowan Deems is his name. Just turned 17. We're missing at 16. DEMS, and Rowan with ROWEN. So yeah.
So y'all be on the lookout. I hope some of you got a screenshot, and like I said, I'll get him to send me
right?
I'll get him to send me the picture so that I can post it and all of you can see it.
Does that camera keep pointing to the coffee machine? Because maybe I need a cup of coffee.
Maybe that's
over
what
there.
it is.
I don't know.
It's stupid
You know,
AI
get the
program.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any made?
Yeah, it's in there. Go ahead, get all you want. So we really appreciate you guys being a part of our show today. It's been a lot of activity. This was another one of those kind of impromptu shows today, but we just thought that after the election, it would be good to get on here and talk about it. We are really proud of Lauren Pena. I saw her come through in the audience. I don't know if you're still on there, Lauren, but we're super proud of you just for the sheer idea of going into that race in such an opposing community to what you're to being a conservative.
Yes.
And you did it with courage and grace, and you were attacked personally, and you were smeared, and
Yes.
you stayed classy.
Yes, you did.
And
Yes,
you know,
did.
as Ron Burgundy would say,
Yes.
stay classy. And you
Yes,
did it.
you did.
So we're real proud of you for that. And you came out, at least you've been victorious enough to make it into the runoffs.
Right.
And
Right.
we're real proud of you. So stay the course.
Yes.
And as I told you this morning, act like you're losing. Always behave as though you're behind.
Yes.
And we're real proud of you and can't wait to see big things from you.
Right.
Let's see, Trump's autograph. Oh, I remember this guy. He's been on here before.
Proud of you, Lauren. That takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing, and but you're showing that fearlessness.
Yes.
That's the energy you're putting out into God's big universe. It will come back to you. I promise you, it will come back to you. Our ultimate hope is through this victory and other victories to come. But we'll see. But regardless, it will come back to you.
So I see Cindy Sharp, a very dear friend of mine, known her for, my goodness, we're not going to say how long, Cindy.
Uh-oh.
Known Cindy a really long time. She's a widow. She could actually use your group
Okay.
as well. If I don't know if she'd do it,
Yeah.
but one of the sweetest ladies I've ever known in my life. Just a really fine lady. She worked with me in my office back when I was an employee benefits broker, way back
Mm.
in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Rob, you were like still in high
Hey,
school, weren't
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
That's
been a
not
minute.
you? I know.
It's been a
I
minute.
know.
Can you give that site again, Chuck?
Yes. Chuck Oliff, that's ChuckOlliff, as in football, .com, chuckoliff.com. And then if you're looking for the grief class, look up free grief. It'll be at one of the top drop down menus, and it'll just, as a couple of scrolls, you get all the way to the bottom. Everything's there.
Oh, she said, slow down. I'm not typing.
sounds like me.
ChuckOlliff.
All right. Hopefully you got it, classy. If not, I'll figure out a way to put it on a post here on TikTok.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up now. It's been a great episode. Thank you guys for joining us today. We will be back next week on Tuesday at our normal time with a less drunk camera person. We'll do our
He
best.
may be fired by then.
He may be.
And what I'm hoping to do, I would like to invite West Side says, long live the Freemasons.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Right.
But what I'd like to do, and I'm gonna throw a challenge out here to Clint. Clint didn't know this was coming, but I'm going to invite Clint to come back on the show. We want to do a story on Clint's life,
wow.
his journey,
Okay.
and his pursuit of his purpose.
We may,
So-
we may need a couple more minutes, I guess, to that story.
More coffee.
Yeah,
and a
more
better
coffee
cameraman.
and a better cameraman, right?
Right.
No, that would be a pleasure. Love to hear more of
No,
those
I
details.
appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Robbie, I really would. I'm right across the street, so why not?
Yeah.
So what we may do, it won't be a live. It'll be a pre-recorded event, but we'll schedule that and we'll let you guys know how it goes, and then we'll release the show. But I think it'd be a great story.
Sure.
We did get some comments on our thinning and gray hair. Thank you guys for noticing. We
Yep.
appreciate that.
That's it.
I have
Wisdom. It's
That's
called
it.
wisdom.
I have
Wisdom,
zero
yeah.
shame about my thinning
No.
and gray hair. I don't even
No.
care. And in fact, to be honest with you, and those of you who know me, if you've ever met me in person, you would know this. I actually don't care about my hair. I'd shave it completely bald
I do too.
if my wife would allow
Not
it.
completely bald.
Is your wife the same?
Yeah.
She's like, I
Classy.
need something.
Classy says it's nice to meet you, Clint.
There you go.
Very nice meeting you too.
there you
man.
go.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, if there's nothing else, if you are not in a position to embrace change, you're not doing it right.
There we go.
This is it, man.
That's it.
It's gonna happen.
That's it.
Yes.
So, here, I'm going to address this one real fast because it's a fun one. Westside says a go-kart race between Freemasons and Shriners. Well, you want to hear a funny fact about that is the Shriners are Masons. You can't be a Shriner unless you're a Mason. So
Fact.
they'd be racing themselves. And so, and those of you who don't know this, I'm a Mason, and
Yeah. So am I.
and I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say maybe need a few more minutes than this.
I
to
did
go over
not
my
know
story.
that,
Yes.
Clint.
Yes.
So anyway, we're learning on the
That's
show.
fascinating in itself.
So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the Pursuit of
Yeah.
Purpose podcast. I'm Rob,
I'm Chuck.
and we've had
Clint
with us
Robinson.
Clint Robinson.
Yeah.
Tell them the name of your business one more time.
Corbin Clay Investigations.
Corbin Clay
.com. Corbin Clay Investigations. Named after the middle name of my two sons.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm going to pass that off to them
Yeah.
in the near future and retire. This will be three retirements. So, and move to Florida or somewhere. Yeah.
Right. So
yes.
before we sign off, I'm going to say a big thank you to Stony Pettit with Texas Ranch Sales. He has provided us with this studio, as we talked about. Stony is a great guy and a friend of the show. He was one of our early interviews, and he when he renovated this building and discovered the vault that it has in it, one of the things that he thought was how awesome it would be as a studio for this show. So he called me not that long ago and said, "Hey man, come check this out." So we did.
Yeah.
And here we are. We are now set up live in the Vault of Purpose.
There's a vault of purpose.
And we want to send another special shout out to Highway Furniture and Mattress. They have provided all our set furniture,
It's
these
coffee.
chairs that we're
It's-
sitting in, and the coffee table that we use. Not the drunk cameraman though.
Yeah, this guy's
The drunk
got way
cameraman
too much.
needs help.
Hope he's not driving.
But anyway,
If you would like to know more about either of those men, go look at our archives. We have interviewed both of them. They were
Yes.
excellent interviews, and both have gone through their own personal transformations and challenges. Some were not of their own making, just health and what have you. And they're beautiful stories of reinvention.
so Trump's autographed Bible, I'll give you a shout out. There you go. He asked for it, so I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay.
Thanks for being a part of the show. You come up with some sometimes great questions and some engagement and get the audience involved, and that's great. Even if you're oppositional to us, that's okay.
It's
We don't
okay.
care.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes the gumbo better.
That's right.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
But anyway, thank you guys for participating with us. Thank you for allowing us to become a part of the pursuit of your purpose. We'll see y'all later, and we will talk soon.
Question every